Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon. It is afternoon, just about. It's just hit 12 o'clock on Tuesday, the 3rd of December. So if it isn't 12 midday on Tuesday, the 3rd of December, then that means you're watching on playback. But you're most welcome. You're most welcome. What we're going to do for all those watching live, by the way, we're just going to give everyone about a minute to get into the live show, and obviously to get this whole thing shared onto our Facebook group as well. Please, if you are watching live, please say hello and especially ask Linda any questions. This is a wonderful opportunity to ask Linda. As you can see, Linda Harris from Riviera Travel is our special guest on the live. And we have from the solo holiday forum, we have Daryl. Hi Daryl, how are you doing?
Good. Well, midday to you, Peter. Yeah, really good. Thank you. Excited to be joining both you and Linda today on this great show. Like you say, it's been an incredible couple of weeks in Passion for Cruises, down in the HQ down in Cardiff. Obviously with Black Friday sales, obviously getting all the offers out there. Obviously with looking at new hosted tours as well, and holidays and cruises. So yeah, so it's been jam packed, Peter. So it's just nice to sit down and just talk all things holidays, but not having to look at spreadsheets. So yeah, I'm
It
excited
is.
to be here with both of you.
And please introduce our wonderful special guest who's going to talk about this incredible holiday escorted tour. Please, Daryl.
Yes. Yeah, so I don't know for any of our members who watched our previous PFC TV live, we'd had Linda Harris on from Riviera Travel talking about all things Japan. Well, Linda is one of the product managers at Riviera, and we are delighted to have you back. So thank you for joining us again, Linda, and today to talk about the beautiful South Africa and the World in One Country tour.
Yeah, thank you for having me back. I love South Africa, and like you were saying, World in One Country, it's got so much to offer. Because it has cosmopolitan cities, epic wildlife, stunning landscapes, fascinating history, really great food and drink. So honestly, it has like something for everyone. And I've been there twice, and I've loved it. And I would recommend that everyone goes at least once in their lifetime, to be honest.
Absolutely fantastic. And this is what we're talking about, Daryl. We're talking about South Africa, a solo exclusive
Yes.
escorted tour. And the beauty about this, Daryl, what we want to announce is that you're going to get 2025 prices for 2026 tours if you book within a certain time, Daryl. Daryl, you there?
Yeah, so basically there's a couple of things to point out. First, yeah, oh sorry Peter, it's some dodgy Wi-Fi down in South Wales this morning, so apologies from my end. But yeah, just from our side, there's a couple of things to point out. So with this particular tour we're talking about today, this is our biggest selling South Africa tour that we sell through Riviera Holidays, and also through our forum, our holiday forum, from an escorted touring point of view. Second of all, at the moment, up until the 15th of December, so the next 12 days, the prices for this tour, you pay 2025 prices, but you actually travel in 2026. So it's a great time to book now. You'll secure your holiday at a price of 2025, but travel in 2026, because we know a lot of our members, they're already booked up for 2025 and even some parts of 2026. The great thing about this particular tour is we've got quite a few departure dates. And yeah, so
Okay.
yeah, it's really exciting to, like you say, just see it from expert side. And Peter, one of the things the reason we love having people like Linda come on is, unfortunately, myself and some of my colleagues, we sell all these amazing destinations, but we haven't been to all of them. We're not experts, and we don't want to pretend to be experts. That's not our forte. So this is why we have experts like Linda, who comes
Mhm.
on and talks about these amazing destinations, but also brings it to life and actually see it through through the touring perspective, what you get on the tour. And that's a big thing, because as we know, touring is growing. Escorted touring is becoming bigger and bigger. Solo travel is growing. And this kind of combines it both. An escorted tour, South Africa, you get to see so much, but also you're getting to travel with like-minded solo travelers, and that's the most important thing.
Fantastic. And we're going to go through this everything with Linda, and we're going to go through the daily itinerary as well. So it's really worth listening to about what you're going to do and where you're going to go. If you do have any questions, by the way, or you want to say hello, please say hello in comments, or please ask us or Linda any questions. It's a great opportunity to do that. If you're watching on YouTube, please like the video. Just a little like, it really helps. And please make sure you subscribe to our channel. Linda, this is what we're talking about. This is the map of this incredible tour we have.
Yeah, so I mean, as you can see from here, we fly into Johannesburg on this tour, and we fly out of Cape Town, and we'll have one night in Johannesburg at the beginning, 3 in the Kruger National Park, 2 in the Zulu battlefields, 2 on the garden route, 2 in the winelands, and ending with 3 nights in Cape Town.
And this is the incredible deal we're talking about, Linda. Amazing.
Yeah, we were just talking about how it is quite reasonable, for a solo tour, because, all of our solo tours, everyone will have a double room and not pay any additional supplements. We'll also travel with only like around 22 people. So it's kind of a nice group size to get to know everyone. As we include like a welcome dinner on day 1 to help bond the group, as well as all the other meals you can see there. We also, to get solo travel off to a good start, we always have a meet and greet at UK departure points as well. So that kind of makes people, sometimes people are a little bit nervous, and that makes them feel comfortable from the very beginning of the tour.
Absolutely. And this is the highlights to talk us through it. Then we're going to go through the daily itinerary.
Yeah, so I'll go through in a lot more detail in a minute, but you can see here there's like all of those different facets I mentioned earlier. We've got history in the battlefields, wildlife in Kruger National Park, beautiful wine in the winelands. We've got cosmopolitan Cape Town and all of its best highlights, history of apartheid in Johannesburg. We even include Eswatini, so we're actually taking off 2 countries on this trip, and the famous garden route as well. So honestly, it's like in 13 nights, it's amazing how much we get through.
Absolutely. And that is the deal, folks. That is the deal. There's so much included in that incredible deal. And that's the number to call, first of all. So if you want to grab it straight away, that's the number to call, 029 2061 9961. And this paints a little bit of the picture. Absolutely stunning. This gives you an idea of what we're talking about. It really is incredible. So, Linda, please talk us through the daily itinerary. And again, folks, if you're watching, a great opportunity to ask questions or just say hello. So, Linda.
Yeah, of course. So we fly into Johannesburg. And one thing I should point out straight away is it's a long haul tour, but it's only 1 or 2 hours time difference. So there's no jet lag, really. So that's a real benefit. Also, they speak English in South Africa, and they're so friendly. So it's just like a really easy place to visit in Africa. So starting in Johannesburg, the must-do in Joburg, as the locals call it, is the Apartheid Museum. So, I mean, it's crazy to think apartheid only ended in 1994, so all of us will remember it vividly. And this is like a really moving but comprehensive museum, kind of talking through the history of apartheid. And it has a really big Nelson Mandela exhibition as well. So it's really interesting. And I think it's good to do on the first day of the tour as well, because then you kind of get all of that history, which kind of informs the rest of your travels throughout South Africa.
Absolutely fantastic evening welcome dinner, and that's Johannesburg. And then we're talking about on day 3, we're talking about the famous Kruger National Park, Linda.
Yes, and to get to the Kruger, it's not just driving A to B. It's a highlight within itself. We're going to travel on the beautiful scenic panorama route, including seeing the really photogenic Blythe River Canyon. So this is like a highlight just to get there. And then we'll get to the Hippo Hollow Lodge, where we spend the next 3 nights. And guests have been known to see elephants and, of course, hippos from the lodge itself. So you don't even need to leave the lodge necessarily to do some safari viewing. So it's a really special lodge.
And you're staying a few nights there.
Yeah, we got 3 nights there, which is great because it is really a big highlight of South Africa. So it's great to have that amount of time. And we'll go out on 4-wheel drive safaris with specialist guides. And one thing I find really interesting, because I know, Daryl, you were saying you're in South Wales. I'm in South Wales as well. The Kruger National Park is about the same size as Wales, which is
Oh my good God.
absolutely incredible. Yeah, it's just unbelievable, isn't it? I mean, obviously, we're not traversing the whole of it on our game drives. We'll just do a section, but it's absolutely enormous. And we'll search for the big five. So, lion, leopard, elephant, rhino, and African buffalo. There's so many more species there. And keen birders will be thrilled as well and in their element, because there's over 500 species of bird life in the Kruger National Park.
Wow. And they get the free time to spend in the Kruger National Park as well.
Yeah, so like in between game drives, it's just nice to relax at a lodge, maybe
what a
look for
start.
wildlife, go in the pool. But there's also options as well. Like you can do an option on night drive, for example.
Wow.
And I did my first night drive when I was in the Kruger National Park, and it's pretty special because you're there with like this kind of giant, spotlight looking for animals. And I saw a leopard when I did mine, because they're actually notorious for being more kind of lazing around in the daytime. So they could be hard to see in the day, and then being more active in the nighttime. So it's a good way to kind of have a different safari experience and see different animals.
I actually years ago watched a video on YouTube called The Battle of Kruger, and it's an incredible video that was actually videoed by people on safari. They caught it live. Battle of Kruger with buffalo, with you have lions and you have a crocodile. If you do watch the Battle of Kruger on YouTube, it looks a little bit horrible to begin with. It has an amazing ending. That's what I would say. So day 6, we're talking about Swaziland.
Yeah, so we're going to travel to the battlefields, and it's a little bit of a drive, to be honest, but we're going to take the scenic route and we're going to travel through Eswatini, formerly known as Swaziland. So yeah, guests are able to tick another country off their bucket list as well. And then we'll spend 2 nights in the battlefields area.
Fantastic. Absolutely stunning. And then day 7.
Yeah, this is our full day battlefield history day. And it's quite special, to be honest, because it's not something that all operators include in South Africa as standard. So it's something that we do that not everyone else does. And I reckon my dad would love this area because one of his favorite films is Zulu. And this kind of tells all of the history of the Anglo-Zulu War. And it's just so interesting, like 2 completely contrasting battles of Isandwana and Rorke's Drift. And yeah, really dramatic. And we'll have some specialist guides who will help bring this kind of history to life.
Absolutely
Yeah,
incredible.
it's quite funny you mention that as well, because that film is kind of, I think, as a British person, as a rite of passage. I remember my dad sitting me down and showing me this in kind of the early 90s. And I think the song Men of Harlech, isn't it, is the song they sing, the Welsh Guard. And I remember just watching that and being absolute mesmerized. So to actually put that film to actually the area where it was fought, I can imagine for a lot of our guests, obviously predominantly being British, it's gonna be quite it's gonna play a huge part in their holiday.
Incredible. Absolutely. Now day 8, we've got a slight, that is gonna change for 2026 slightly, isn't it, Linda?
Yeah, so we'll still go back to Joburg and fly to George for the garden route. But from next year, actually, we're staying in Knysna rather than Mossel Bay. They're both lovely spots on the garden route. So yeah, we think it's going to be an improvement, actually. But basically, the garden route, for anyone who doesn't know, it's just like this spectacularly scenic part of the South African coastline, which Mossel Bay and also Knysna are part of. So it's just like, you're really going there for the scenery. It's just like absolutely beautiful area.
Amazing. Absolutely stunning. And then you're talking day 9 now, the Featherbed Nature Reserve.
Yeah, so we'll go on a day trip to the Featherbed Nature Reserve. We'll explore on 4-wheel drives, and we'll also do an easy walk as well. Anyone who doesn't want to walk, they can opt out. But for those who are capable, I mean, like you see, it's beautiful, and it's kind of an area that you do want to explore a bit on foot, I think, to kind of really make the most of it.
Yeah, absolutely stunning. It really is. And day 10.
Yeah, so then we're going to travel to the Winelands via Hermanus. And if you're there from June to November, that's when you can potentially see whales. So Hermanus is actually known as the best land-based whale watching in the world. So generally when you do whale watching, you go out on a boat, looking for whales. But in Hermanus, you can actually see whales, if you're lucky enough, from the coastline itself. So it's absolutely incredible. And there is a mating and breeding ground for southern right whales, but they also have humpback whales and other types of whales as well. And my favorite thing about Hermanus is for the last 30 years or so, they've had a Hermanus whale crier. So he's the only whale crier in the world. And basically he goes out in the season around 10 till 4 p.m. kind of every day. And when he sees a whale, he blows a horn, like to let the tourists know that there's a whale to be seen.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's
And
just
there it
pretty
is.
cool.
Blow the horn and there's the well. There we go. Yeah, if I'd known,
Exactly.
I would have brought my horn with me. There we go. Fantastic. Wow. And there's the winelands. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, the
They-
winelands you can see in that picture, they're so beautiful. I was going to say, because obviously you're going for the wine, that's the main draw, but it's just such a stunning area as well. The whole of South Africa is beautiful in different ways. So yeah, lovely, beautiful area. We'll spend 2 nights there. We stay at this lovely kind of hotel that's got its own spa, its own wine cellar, its own golf course even, and set in these beautiful grounds. And we'll, of course, do wine tasting. That's what you do in the winelands. But we'll also visit the nearby towns of Franschhoek and Stellenbosch as well.
Wow, this is incredible. So much, so much. Day 12.
And then, yeah, our final stop, 3 nights in Cape Town. Like the Kruger, Cape Town's a big highlight. So 3 nights is a really nice amount of time to explore it. And honestly, in my opinion, it's one of the best cities in the whole world. And on this first day, we'll have the opportunity to go up the famous Table Mountain and in the cable car and see beautiful views. And we'll also visit the Kirstenbosch Botanical Gardens as well, which is one of the most acclaimed botanical gardens in the world. So yeah, that'll be kind of your first day in Cape Town, doing the gardens and getting a view of the whole city from Table Mountain. Then the next day, we've got a whole day going around the Cape Peninsula, going to the Cape of Good Hope and Cape Point. And it's just, again, really beautiful, epic scenery. And we will, of course, go and see these little fellas. There's a colony of African penguins on Boulders Beach, which is a highlight for many people. And I absolutely love penguins, so I loved it here. And I went in about May or June time, and there were so many babies there at that time. So that was kind of extra special as well. And
absolutely incredible. Stunning. I mean, wow, penguins and then free time in Cape Town.
Yeah, it's really important, I think, on tours to have some free time. And there's so much to do in Cape Town. So it's kind of, we want our guests to be able to decide what they want to do that day. But personally, I would recommend going to Robben Island, which is the famous prison that Nelson Mandela spent 18 of his 27 years in prison. And it's, it's really special because they have a lot of former political prisoners that are guides in the prison. And when I went, I did have the privilege of being guided by a former prisoner who was actually in prison the same time as Nelson Mandela.
Wow.
So that's extra special, really. But there's so many other things to do. People have the choice.
You sold it, Linda. Daryl is just left. He's off to the airport now. So he's like, I'm going right now. I just can't resist it. Absolutely incredible. So that was what we talk about. Those incredible highlights of what we absolutely amazing. And we got so many dates here, Linda, opportunities at different dates. We got the 21st of January, 2026, the 25th of March, the 27th of May, the 19th of August, the 23rd of September, and the 18th of November. Well, absolutely stunning. And that is the deal. That's the deal. 3,999. And let's put Daryl back. Daryl is back.
Apologies.
It's okay, Dal. We thought that you jumped on a plane to go to South Africa.
Yeah, I did say our Wi-Fi is not.
Yeah, there we go. And that's the deal. That's the number to call, folks. That is the number to give us a call. So, and just to go through it again, I think Daryl's struggling, to be honest with you. So we'll leave Daryl there. He looks like he's frozen. I know it's cold in Wales at the moment, isn't it? It's cold here as well. But South Africa, what a wonderful temperature. And so, Daryl, you are back. So we're talking about the fact that you've got these wonderful dates, and to highlight the fact that these are frozen a little bit like Darryl. These are frozen at 2025 prices until is it something for December?
15th.
Yeah, the 15th of December. Darryl, do you have any more questions at all?
Yeah, so just from my side, if I do drop out yet again, sorry for anybody's watching. I will be running straight into my director's office after this to say, look, we need to sort this out because, apologies. But anyway, from our side, a couple of things. So Linda noted at the very beginning, at the start of the tour, before we've even left the UK, that there will be someone to meet and greet at the airport.
Yes.
So what a start to your holiday. And just like I say, and what I love about that is you get chatting to your other kind of solo passengers, the other solo guests who are traveling. So before you've even taken off, you're going to get to know what could be considered, and Pete, you've been on many of these solo trips now, friends for life before you've even left the UK. So what a start to your holiday. I think that's incredible. Then to fly into Joburg, obviously the time difference and the jet lag. I mean, that's just fantastic in itself, because one of the things I hate about flying is the thought of getting to the other destination and being tired for the first couple of days. So yeah, just to allude on that, that's huge, and that's why South Africa is a great destination from a long haul perspective. Also, Linda mentioned, like, on the first night you do like is it a welcome dinner?
Yeah, I mean, there are more dinners included in this tour anyway, but it's something we do on all of our solo tours. We make sure there's a welcome dinner normally on the first night in country, sometimes the second, because it's just a really good opportunity to get to know everyone and, start bonding the group. Although, like you said, I've been on tours before where I've made friends in Heathrow. So, it's possible they're already comfortable with each other at that point already.
Yeah,
and
but
it's solo exclusive, Darryl, as well.
yes, it's solo exclusive. So yet again, and the group size I think Linda mentioned is up to 22. So a really nice group size as well. So enough to get to know plenty of people, but not too many that, like you say, that can hinder on your tour. Also, a couple of things like just the attention to detail. So I think it was day 3, you do that scenic route when you drive out of Joburg, and I think, yeah, again, those little things that can make a huge difference to people. And having just been on an escorted tour to India myself, the one thing I always say to people, a lot of people were like, oh, is it a lot of time on the coach? Well, sometimes it is, but actually, if you just look out the window, you see the formations of these beautiful countries. And I think with South Africa, I mean, the clue's in the name. It's a world in one country. So you get to see so many sights. You get all different types of colors in the landscape. So yeah, you're just so lucky. And then 3 nights in Kruger. So a lot of people want to do safari. That's kind of on their bucket list. But actually, we have people who do safaris and go, actually, I want to spend more time in South Africa. Well, this might be the perfect opportunity. And like you say, to go on your game drives, do a night safari. I mean, the opportunity to do a night safari, who thought that they would 10 years ago, they'd be able to go on a night safari where you put your goggles on and you can see nocturnal leopards, etc., etc. And then little things, like I said, for me, going to Rorke's Drift, that just plays a huge part growing up in the UK in that particular battle. So yeah, it's just a fantastic tour. And what this tour does best, it finishes with wine, Peter. So as
It
you're coming
does.
to the end of the tour, before you get to Cape Town, it finishes with wine.
I'm
And we all
sure at
know
the
a lot of
airport
our guests like wine.
it could start with wine as well. Darryl, how
It
much
could
is the
start with
deposit?
wine.
Maybe as well. How much is the deposit, please, Darryl?
So it's a £500 deposit to confirm your place. And then the balance isn't due until 12 weeks before you depart.
Plenty of time. That's £500 deposit. Absolutely fantastic. Wow. There we go, folks. This is an absolutely incredible opportunity. If you didn't see it, that's the highlights. And more importantly, that is the deal. That is an incredible deal that you can grab. That's 2025 prices, folks, for 2026, but only for another couple of weeks. So you've got to grab that as soon as possible. You really do. That's the number to call. That's the number to call, 029 2061 19961. You can email passionforcruises@gmail.com. Absolutely fantastic. So, Linda, first of all, I want to say thank you so much for coming in and talking about this incredible, wonderful deal. We really appreciate that. John, I'm glad you're back. Sorry, Daryl, I'm glad you're back because we thought that you were going to shoot off to South Africa. And I'm just going to bring in CJ, who is actually who's been producing the show, who is ready to jump in there, who's been in the background. Hi, CJ, how are you?
I'm good, thanks. Thanks very much. Yeah, really enjoyed it. Thank you, Linda.
Incredible tour. CJ is going to be going live for the first time tomorrow on Thursday, so I just brought him in. So, folks, make sure you give the team a call. That is the number if you want to grab this absolutely fantastic Escorted solo tour. It really is. So again, Linda, thank you for that. We really appreciate your great knowledge. You painted the picture. And yeah, I mean, yeah, it is like a opportunity of a lifetime. It really is. Thanks, Linda. Really appreciate that. And Daryl,
can I just add one more thing? Sorry, I just thought of one really important thing that's good to mention. I know you said South Africa sells really well for you. It's also selling really well for us at the moment. Obviously, for all the reasons we saw, it's a beautiful country. But one of the reasons it's selling so well right now is it's because it's incredible value for money at the moment, because the rand has been working in our favor. So when I went in 2017, there were 17 rand to the pound. Now it's more like 23. So it's considerably more. And I was speaking to one of our experts in South Africa the other day, and he said you can get a 3-course meal with wine for £20. So it's actually, when you're there, you'll be, I think when you travel from the UK, a lot of places feel cheap anyway in comparison. But it is actually very good value right now. So I thought I'd just mention that because that's another reason why it's so hot right now. Yeah.
That is huge because funny enough, Linda, just real quickly on this. So I regularly travel to the United States, and 20 years ago, I remember it was $2 to the pound. Everything was cheap. It was an incredible place, and you get so much for your money. But obviously, it's flipped reverse now, and actually, America's become very, very expensive. And funny enough, I was talking to a friend who's a golfer, and I'm a big golfer, and they go out to South Africa every year now because they've changed from going to Florida to South Africa because the quality of golf courses are just as good, but you get a lot more value for your money in regards to eating out, drinking, everything. So yeah, no, it's that's a really great note for everybody who's watching this.
And a wonderful way to finish. It really is. Wonderful tour. Again, thank you, Linda. Thank you, Daryl. Thank you, CJ. CJ, if you can close us down. And thank you, everybody, for watching. We really appreciate all of you. Thank you.